Good afternoon. I just recorded a whole bunch and then realized my microphone was not fully plugged in. um, but I wasn't really talking about anything particularly important. So I wanted to talk about politics. Since people love to talk about politics, I want to talk about politics myself. But let's start with the very first fundamental fact about humanity, and that is everyone on this planet is insane. Everyone is insane. And, you're gonna, in the circle, healing, blah, blah, blah. No. Everyone's insane. You've all been conditioned to believe things that aren't true. To believe in things that don't exist. And I'm not just talking about Santa Claus. I'm talking about your so-called government. Your so-called government does not exist. It is a mental delusion that you and other insane people share. Just like people have a mental delusion of Santa Claus. However, unlike that story, there are other insane people who, because they get paid money, will enact violence in the name of this fictitious thing. So that's what I want you to understand, is that you're insane. You're all insane. And as you rise up and see the truth of this reality, you will see the insanity everywhere. But primarily, you'll see the insanity just in the ordinary speech habits of people. You'll see them say stuff like, our government, our military, us, them, right? Even people who claim to be anarchists really oftentimes make those mistakes. They still talk about our government or the government. If you're still saying the government, you're insane. I just try to put that caveat so-called, but it does not exist. Let's say that we were in an atheistic world. There is no God, no whatever. Let's just say that was true. And somebody around you is always demands that you accept the existence of God. That'd be pretty annoying, right? Well, let's say they use violence. They use violence to prove their existence of God, or in the name of God. That's pretty fucked up, right? It's fucked up when that shit does happen, and it does still. We can all agree it's fucked up. But the same thing is true when it comes to government. Because government doesn't exist. It's people that exist. And it's people that enact violence upon other people in the name of something. So let's get back to the roots. How is it possible? How is it possible that we got here? Let's just ask that question. How is it that some people took a boat ride over here and then using some advanced weapons cleared the continent of a good portion of its indigenous people and then laid claim to ownership of all that land? So their logic is that violence gave them that right. And therefore, it's perfectly logical for us, of course, to use violence to reclaim our natural, abundant inheritance. That is acceptable by all moral law. We have a right to take back. We, the collective inhabitants of this continent and other continents, have a right to remove those who make such a claim as to possess all land. We have the right to remove those that would enact violence in the name of something fictitious. But this begs even further questions as you start to go into it. Do we have a right to ensure that these ideas never prosper again? The idea of government, the idea of this concept, and it's a disgusting concept. It's slavery is what it is. And the founders of the so-called, signature parchment founders that simply, wrote down what our sovereign natural rights are. That's all they did. They enumerated it. It's really not that big of a fucking deal. It is made into a big fucking deal, and it's made into a big fucking deal for the purposes of controlling you. But enumerating our sovereign rights, just because they weren't put down in a fucking book, even though they should have been a long time ago. But of course, it has been an information war always, hasn't it? It's always been this war of, can I trick this person into doing what I want them to do so that I don't have to? That's basically what it fucking is. This is what it boils down to, and this is what the shit I've seen my entire life. See lazy fat asses getting paid more money to do nothing practically. Nothing productive, usually. Well, the people that do stuff, are barely compensated and are kept in a kind of survival mode so that they have to keep doing. That's how a lot of this society functions, of course. But, and that's a little bit off topic, but those are the people that claiming to be your so-called government. Fat asses. They're weak. I've been into, I would say probably 100 at least, government jobs. It's hard to say. I don't know how to add that up. But, and seen the insides of different agencies, courthouses, every part of government, and even military bases too. And yeah, I saw this 20 years ago. I saw this massive lazy ineptitude. Really disgusting. But these are the people claiming to control you. They're fucking weak. And even the so-called soldiers are fucking weak. Let's get down to it. They break these people. They break them of their natural compassion. Because it's not natural to go over somewhere and kill somebody simply because you're ordered. That's unnatural. That's heinous. It's evil. If you're going to label anything as evil, that's fucking evil. And if you are empathic and go over to a military base, you're going to feel it. You're going to feel it. Because what standing armies do is create enormous cognitive dissonance in the people that are broken. And they come out of it, and they're no longer being so conditioned and programmed and controlled, and they start thinking again, and they start having their nightmares, and they're broken. Military people are weak. They might be strong in body, and they might be trained and think that they're doing what they're doing for the right reasons. But they're weak inside. They won't be able to handle this collapse. They're going to turn to the base instincts. And that's why they're going to be dangerous. Most of them are fat asses, though. And that's the truth. You see these guys, they think so much, I was trained how to do this stuff. But I move 2-3 times faster than most people. I mean, yeah, it's crazy. So, politics is for insane people. For people who are becoming more sane, you don't want to have anything to do with this. They're gonna have their fall. And everyone who depends on any part of the system is gonna pay a price. Whether that's food stamps, your pensions, paychecks, or the feeling that you need police for protection. If you think you can count on police for protection, you're insane. And two, because they only show up like after the fact, right? And then if you're dependent on these things, you're still just truly insane. Unfortunately, most of us are still dependent on grocery stores. And that needs to be one of our, of course, number one. We need our own food distribution networks. And with the right intentions in mind, instead of, if it's just too loose, it's too loose right now is what I'm saying. Everybody's got different ideas about what's important instead of just getting it done, like we need to get this done. We need to have enough food for every one of us that are in a community. And there'll be a lot of people wanting to be in a community when things become more stressed. So, and they are becoming stressed. I mean, with Fred Meyers and Kroger, I mean, that's just the monopoly is just watching them change the food prices, change the labeling, and just set these things as they want. Like, is not dependent on market prices at all. And at least Walmart used to be fucking good. And about setting prices, like they only took a certain margin. They didn't try to collect. This is what I'm talking to somebody who runs a cherry orchard, and a big one. And yeah, Walmart was fair. Safeway, Kroger, not fair. um, because they just try to profit the largest margins, short, not efficiency. They don't understand efficiency. These are college degree business majors, marketing major, just fucking idiots with the smallest, narrowest fucking perspectives and things. Those people disgusted me when I walked around on campus. I saw them every fucking day, and they grossed me out. Thinking like, this is the people making choices for everyone else. This runaway capitalistic, consumeristic bullshit model on top of this other ridiculous model which has been flayed alive pretty much by feminism. Things aren't working, right? It's not. We all know that. But we need a food distribution network. Got to go that direction. And I think we need to keep it inclusive for a while. Because popularity does not always help things. And plus it needs to be kept in check. But we need to grow it in such a way as to be able to expand. Yeah, so as far as this political, I'm okay with there never being an election again. That's kind of where I'm at. As far as Trump looking like he's probably going to win, and I've already said some of my pieces on what I think about Israel, and support. Like, it doesn't seem like Harris is going to support Israel, but then again, Harris is just a puppet. She gets installed. And the running mate, of course, looks like a total doofus. It's not even there's nothing serious about this. It's comical. It's all comical. Like, how anybody takes any of this shit seriously, I don't understand. It's bread and circuses. This is what this is. Except we're running out of bread. Let me tell you, dude. I've been not eating a whole lot because I'm so stretched, and you don't understand hunger until you've been there. It's just kind of like chronic malnutrition. But then there's like those days, when you literally don't have any food. That's when people really start to lose their minds. And I think that's what we got to understand too. So, I've done a lot of losing my mind before shit has hit the fan. Right? Because I know that it's going to be a really bad time to lose your mind. You're going to have to make some important decisions. But everyone is going to be losing their mind when shit hits the fan. They're all insane, but they're really going to lose it in every possible way. I think the majority will at first be in just denial, like shock denial, like what you saw, during 9/11 and 9 divided by 11, and and people are kind of in a daze. This is going to impact them directly. It's like it doesn't take much. An economic downshift can happen and hit within the shelves within less than a week. Just depends on the level of panic. An EBT downing would within a few days probably have riots throughout quite a few major cities. Just that one thing. People not showing up for their so-called government jobs. When it comes down fast. So I had a change of energy on the 12th. And I've been trying to understand it, trying to understand what happened. It's left me with a lot of questions. And I don't know. It's like everything else. I don't know for sure. So I'll go round and round in my head. And that's life. And so here we go. It's like it's kind of like I don't want to see this world erupt into war. I want us to turn our swords into plowshares. Our swords into because we need to. We need to disarm on a massive scale. What's it going to take for the world to get to that realization? What is the price? Can we do it without that price? Or is the only way we're ever going to get there, is with a heavy, heavy price? That's been the question. And it's interesting in the visions that it just says that they're all set up for the battle. It says that authority has been given to these different riders. It doesn't say whether or not they go through with it. That, I think, is the most interesting part. How many people never see that? Never realize? I don't know where some of my throughout my life, I've battled a few of my own things. Procrastination is huge. Laziness. Not because I'm lazy once I get going. And once I get going, I'm fucking amazing. As long as nobody gets in my way, slows me down, I'm amazing. But procrastination, laziness, and a few other things. Laziness tends to come from a lack of direction, lack of being fooled. There's also I can think things through to their completion, and I don't do a lot of things because I think it all the way through. Whereas people who don't think things through, they're always doing something. Oh, is this project that? But and they're all over the fucking place. It's if you think about humans and like if we chose these lives and how many skill points do we put in, how many attribute points, whatever, like, and I'm not saying it's that, of course, but as an analogy of a way to understand, it seems that when you have too high of intelligence, it kind of alters. It can alter things a lot, like where you just want to stay in your head, or the fact is that I can't have a conversation where I learn anything hardly from anyone. I mean, I try to learn things all the time, like whatever I can pick up, but anything in depth, it's so rare, and that's the way it's been my entire life. In every obsession I've had, because I'm a stalker. I have stalked knowledge and truth, purpose, and I've tried to stalk love too. I try to find it. And it's just like, I guess that's the one thing I can't seem to find. It's weird how, someone approval of someone else can mean so much to you. Like, not knowing, like, but why? Like, it's so deep down inside yourself, like, even though it's hard to see all the parts at once, you have enough reference and to know, like, but I know. I strived. I spent my life striving, trying, and didn't see anyone else do that. So, yeah, it's weird wanting approval from someone you'll never get. And I can look at, like, say, okay, my father's probably never going to give me his approval, but I'm not looking for his approval. I don't need his approval. That's not what I need. That's not the approval that I would be seeking. So then I start asking myself, like, why do I need this approval? But it comes back to that central thing of, like, loneliness. And also, like, just wanting to have a friend to share this all with, Like, this has been an amazing, amazing fucking story. I mean, truly. From my perspective, even as much madness as I've gone through, as much as this shit hurts, and it hurts. It hurts every fucking day. It hurts all the fucking time. But it has been amazing. A person who I used to have once was, the kid before, wouldn't have believed this, So, but you still see the threads from that too. So it's been an incredible life. And if I disappear, then I disappear. I don't know if it'll really change much. I don't know if people need to ever know this story. I don't know if it'll help them. I thought it once, like, okay, it needs to be told so we can get this done. I thought they were important and mattered, but I don't really think they do. Like, they're just the herd that we're carrying through, slowly evolving them. I mean, it's where we inhabit it, It's our pool, right? And it's an amazing story, and I would like to know more of it. But I did my part. I put myself out there. I said, I reached out, told my concerns, and no one has contacted me. So, and I get it, everyone, wait and see. Nobody wants to get involved. And I understand why. Especially if there is free will. I mean, that's the cherry on top there. I mean, it's a time traveler problem then. And just makes you wonder how this got so fucked up. Or is it? Is it fucked up, or is this happening just the way I need? It's just not what I expected. So, I don't expect to be around much longer. I don't think. But I have no intention of harming myself. That I can assure you. I do not wish to harm myself. Even if I struggle with purpose, even if I struggle, that's not it. I wouldn't do that. Same as but that doesn't mean I wouldn't walk in knowing. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.